Oh, I just recorded what I thought was this long video, and now I didn't record it. I was just talking to nothing for like 10 minutes. Anyway, hello, this is my second video, and I just gave this long rendition of what's been going on with my dating life to nobody. I introduced you to my cats, who were just sitting next to me for a little bit, and got to see how messy my hair is, and I have no makeup on. See? Nice. And I told you, like, the story of my horrible dating life about this guy that I was seeing for 2 weeks, and was kind of happy, and, you know, I opened up about my eating disorder, and he said, you know, nobody's perfect, and he was accepting, and I was, like, floating in the clouds, and, you know, for a little bit, and finally happy, and kind of screwed me, in the sense that, you know, it happened again. Hey, Merlin. First, before we get into this depressing story, you have to see my baby Merlin. Merlin? Merlin. The one of the two men that won't leave me, him and my other baby Hunter. There we are. Look at the camera, murmur. Okay, go ahead. Okay, let me fix my hair a little bit. It's kind of looking like it needs to be highlighted again. But anyway, my two babies, there they are, my two men. But getting back to dating, yeah, this dude, Scott, total creep. Gets me to open up to him, and then screws me. Our last date was, like, we had like 7 of them, was great, you know, like any other, and I told him everything, and he was accepting me, pretty much making me feel like nobody's perfect, you know, if you ever need anybody to talk to, call me 24/7, you know, instead of pretty much binging, you know, like if you ever need a friend, or, you know, I'm here, and whatever. And Friday night, we were supposed to meet, actually, his friends for dinner, and I had a really stressful Friday, and ended up binging, and it was just bad, and I ended up canceling on him, saying, I'm sorry, you know, like, I'm really sorry, and, you know, like, stuff happened. I had a fight with my mom, and my dad pretty much told me, like, don't stress her out. She's if you stress her out, you know, the stress will cause her cancer to go out of remission, and that'll be your fault. You know, so don't do that. You know, when you talk to her, talk happy. Don't even put your issues on her. And her mother is sick, my grandmother is sick. I might actually have to go up to Northern California for 2 weeks, because they're going out of the country for 2 weeks, my parents are, and I'll have to take care of a 95-year-old woman who is pretty much having, like, rectal bleeding, and I am, like, terrified to death, because she is, like, a large, short but large, like, 4'10" woman, and if she passes out in the shower, I don't know how I would even pick her up. But they think maybe she has, like, colon cancer. I don't know. But this has all been in the last 2 weeks, and my mom does not need well, she does not need this cancer either, but she does not need stress, because with her breast cancer just being in the first stages of remission, I mean, like, she just went through chemo in 06, like, toward, you know, she just does not need this, you know, so it was just a really stressful time, and Friday sucked, and anyway, I canceled on him and his couple, you know, his friends, who were a couple, and, like, this big dinner, I guess, was set up to meet me, and Scott didn't end up calling me back. And then, I mean, I left him messages, because I was upset. I was like, you know, what the hell, you know, we had this great time, we were supposed to, I thought, like, okay, maybe if I even canceled the date, he would at least come over, and after spending the dinner with his friends, and see me, because he was supposed to spend the night. I mean, we hadn't really, like, slept together, but he would still, like, once in a while, because he's in the military, spend the night here, because it's sure, like, better here than in the barracks. And, I mean, like, he would do really sweet things, like, he'd always kiss me on the forehead before he'd leave, and sometimes he'd, like, unload my dishwasher, or, like, just, I don't know, he was really sweet and understanding, and I'd tell him stuff, and I felt like I opened up so much to him. Well, after leaving those messages, we met on a dating site before, you know. I went to check my Hotmail. Well, what it does is I usually check my Gmail, well, Hotmail's kind of where my spam goes, so I don't check it too often. Well, with Hotmail, what usually happens is it logs you in as kind of like the last person that logged in, unless you actually click log out instead of just closing the window. Well, I guess he just closed the window because he was the last person to use Hotmail on my computer on my laptop. And he told me that we were like, he wasn't talking to anybody else. So it logged me in as him. Well, I didn't like flip through his like emails or anything, or like read his previous emails, but I did see that he had like all these messages from other chicks on JDate, or mainly these two. I didn't read like messages or go to his inbox or anything, but I did write down their screen names so I could look up their profiles, which, just see if I was prettier or whatnot. And oh my gosh, one of them is like such a like, I like shopping and days at the spa, and if you make me laugh, I'm yours forever. Like dits. Oh my gosh. Not to say that I'm like the smartest person in the world, but, and she's young. I'm 23, she's 21. I mean, we're pretty much the same age, but she has collagen. I'm like, who injects her lips with collagen? I mean, she's from LA, so not to say, but oh my goodness, The other one looked very, like, I guess smart, but kind of big nose, but pretty girls. The other one was really cute, the one in LA, but I don't know. But it doesn't matter. The girls could have been wonderful, and they could have been my best friends. The only reason I'm like, about the girls is because the dude was checking them out on my computer when I was in, I don't know. And he was making me, I was his meanwhile girl while he was looking for something better. And the one comment that stuck out that he said was like, because I don't really keep that much food in my house because I tend to eat it. Even if it's like, when I start binging, even if it's like freaking soup, I'll like pick out the potatoes out of the canned soup or something, or like the SpaghettiOs out of like the like whatever soup, or just like once I get going, or like even if it's like frozen fish, I'll like microwave it and binge on that. He's like, well, how do you expect to have children? Like, how do you expect to feed them, when you have kids? And I'm like, well, And I've had a friend to tell me, like, you're very easy to love. You're a very easy, like, lovable person. You're sweet. You're, like, one of the sweetest people ever. But you're easy to love, but you're impossible to live with. And that is, like, the most painful thing anyone can say to me, because it terrifies me. It makes me feel like, like, the only thing it can ever be is a great sister and a great aunt. And even then, I can't spend the night at my brother's, because usually, like, I end up eating something of his, like, or sneaking some of the kids' candy, or, like, I have to always try to, like, plan, or, like, be like, like, the most sick thoughts go through my head, like, oh, I hope he doesn't finish his pie, so, like, that way I can dig it out of the trash later. Or, like, like, stuff that most people wouldn't think, or, like, I plan all this crap, Like, my brother lives about, I don't know, like, 100 miles from me up north in Long Beach, and when I go over there for the holidays to see my nieces, it's, like, stuff like that. I don't want to be like that, my God. I love those little girls more than anything. So much, Oh my gosh. Oh, my hair looks so shitty right now. Anyway, I have another date tonight with this other guy. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how accepting he's gonna be of me. I think I said, like, something just very briefly, like, blah, 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 blah. I like shoes. Well, I don't really like shoes that much. I have 2 cats and eating disorder. Like, like something like those two, like those 3 things fit in the same category as, like, shoes, cats, eating disorder. But, they really don't. And I went along, we're going to see Georgia Rule, the movie. I hope it's good. I'm driving, like, he lives in Irvine, so he's